So the budget on this film was 140 million. The box office was 445 million. So good ratio, especially for something in the early 2000s. Now, this film came out 5 years after the first film, and I will say I still think so. I do think the first film was a little bit better because I did say the first film I would rate that between a 7.5 to an 8. This one I give a 6.5 to a 7. So I'd say there were parts of it that were interesting. There was also a lot of parts of it that were kind of dull and boring, and a lot of it was actually cheesier than some of the stuff even in the first film. But I think they had a great cast in this movie. So of course you already had the stars, Tommy Lee and Will Smith. Let me see. You also had Lara Flynn Boyle, who was the antagonist in here. She played Serlina. You had Rosario Dawson, who played Laura, and Johnny Knoxville in here was Charlie. David Cross in here was Newton, and then you also had Patrick Warburton in there. I thought that was interesting. So, what are the ratings on this movie? What are the percentage scores? Well, let's see. These numbers are also kind of all over the place. Rotten Tomatoes 38, Metacritic 49, Internet Movie Database 62, Google users 89. That's another thing I've noticed. Usually Google users give reviews and ratings like much higher than like whatever Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic are, and even Internet Movie Database, Google user score is usually way, way higher. But then again, to be fair, granted, Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic are some pretty tough sources. They're pretty tough. But I don't fault them for their scores on this one because, like I said, this one wasn't as good. Like I said, this one was kind of interesting. So, like I said, if a movie or show gets at least a 7 from me, a 7 out of 10, um, that means it's just good enough. But if it's like 6.5, it's like barely, almost halfway good enough, like somewhat okay. So here's the Google synopsis, then I'll get to Common Sense Media. K and J reunite to provide our best line of defense against a seductress who levels the toughest challenge yet to the MIB's mission statement, protecting the Earth from the scum of the universe. While investigating a routine crime, Jay uncovers a plot masterminded by Serlina, a Calothian monster who disguises herself as a lingerie model. When Serlina takes the MIB building hostage, there's only one person Jay can turn to, his former MIB partner, K. Now, here's how Common Sense Media sums this one up. Now, they gave it an 80%. The parents gave it an 80. The kids also gave it an 80. So, according to them, now here's their version of the synopsis. At the end of the first film, Jay erased the memories of his partner K so that he could return to a normal life. As the second film begins, a scary looking alien, disguised as a Victoria's Secret model and played by Lara Flynn Boyle, returns to Earth and only K knows how to deal with her. Jay has to track K down, restore his memory, and work with him to save the planet from the scum of the universe. Is it any good? This sequel may not be quite as good, but it's still loads of fun and pretty funny with many imaginative creatures. Men in Black was wonderfully original and achieved near perfection with a tone that was just off center and the essence of a satisfying story and spectacular special effects. It's hard to live up to that. Now, I gotta say, I think in this movie there was only, was it one or two scenes in this movie that actually made me laugh a little bit. The first one was when Will's character was struggling to get up when he was laying on all that what appeared to be bubble wrap. That was just like cheesy, childish, slapsticky type funny. But I can't remember what the other scene was. Oh, that's right, when they were being chased by Serlina through the tunnel, and they stopped, they ducked, and then she went past them and then went right into the monster's mouth. And a guy comes out of nowhere inside of the. He's sitting in the vehicle, and then he's just right there on Will's lap, and Will was just sitting there looking confused and frustrated. So those were like the two funny scenes in there. So like I said, at best I can give this one it's between a 6.5 to a 7. I'd say like 6.8 8, 6.9, like it's close to a 7. So, like I said, I think it's kind of worth it. But again, not my personal ideal type of action film. Again, I think action thriller films. I like real action thrillers. I mean, I'm talking like I said, Mission Impossible, John Wick, Taken, stuff like that. But I'm getting ready to watch the third and fourth films, and there is there is a Men in Black International that came out in 2019. I actually brought that up to someone earlier. They said they haven't even heard of it, so maybe it wasn't marketed well. Apparently, it's supposed to be a spin-off film. It's kind of like Hobbs and Shaw to the Fast and Furious franchise. So, other than that, that's all I have to say about this. Not much there, but help me out. Help me get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Hit the subscribe button and go to my about section, and you know the drill. The links to all my other socials are there: Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, Twitter. It's all there. So that's all I have for now. Stay tuned.